Greetings everyone, welcome to my channel. We're going to start a Christmas series. In this video I'm going to do a little unboxing. Yep, one thing. It's called Holiday Haul. It's from the Small Die of the Month Club from Spellbinders. And there's this little truck scene. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get out my sidekick and move my little pad. I'm going to go into my scraps here and just grab a few scraps to cut the pieces from. And I'm going to be cutting the truck to start with, so I'm just going to trim down this piece of scrap here. And these are all super simple to do in the sidekick. The price is right. I really like the small dies because I generally make smaller projects, so this one works out perfect. So I'm just going to poke the truck out and put them back, and then I'm going to need 2 of each of these, as well as 2 of that one, which is the sideboard. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those out. Just arrange them here on the sidekick, run them through. This thing is great. I have another one around here somewhere. I can't find it though. If I ever find it, I'll put it in a giveaway. Oh goodness. And I'm just going to poke little pieces out and cut it again. Anyways, I don't like to do, I like to keep my videos fairly short, even my lives, just because, you know, I don't know, I get kind of bored watching people open their stuff, I guess. Maybe I'm jealous, that's okay. But it just, you know, I would rather do, you know, open one thing and do a project with it so that you can see the toy in action here. So I've done this once more. That's how come I know there are 2 pieces on each of those, because the first time I didn't cut 2. The instructions on the back, honestly, you're going to need a magnifying glass. At least I do. I cannot see the picture well enough with my glasses on. So I'm just going to go ahead and complete cutting the pieces out for this. And you see where I'm setting that stuff aside? Later on, I'm going to find out that was a big mistake. Probably shouldn't have done that because I start losing pieces all over the place. I'm just going to run this tree through, and I'm going to run it through 3 times. I can get 2 on that piece. And this is sped up. I mean, you guys have seen die cutting before. It's nothing new. Get that last tree there, and then just pick up my sidekick, get it out of the way. I'm going to pull my little silicone mat down. And I'll tell you, I love this mat for coloring stuff. So what I want to do is I want to separate out the pieces into the colors that I'm going to color them. I'm going to move aside the window because I don't want it. And then there are these tiny little pieces over here, and those are going to stay white. I'm just going to poke them out. Boy, keeping track of these things, I'm telling you. And then I'm going to need the benders. The trees are all going to be green. My truck's going to be yellow. And those are the black tires. I'm keeping them way off to the side. And then I've got a bunch of pieces that need to be silver. Or in my mind. And these are the wood side pieces. They want to be brown. Normally you see these trucks are either red or blue, but I really like yellow. And so I'm going to grab my Simon Hurley Over the Moon. It's my absolute favorite yellow until I get the new yellow, which I have no idea what that's going to look like, but I love Over the Moon. And I'm just going to take a little brush and just brush the color on. And you see how that mat just kind of grips that truck? So it's easy to color teeny tiny pieces on it, because it just kind of grips everything. Now with me and all my nails clipped off, I of course have trouble picking stuff up off of it. And I imagine somebody with long nails would have the same issue because it's just, it's grippy. Anyways, I'll get my yellow done. And then I'm going to go ahead and move those pieces over so I remember they need to stay white. Those are the white walls. And I'm going to grab my Delicata and the silver and my little makeup brush. And I'm just going to color in all the teeny tiny little silvery pieces. I end up losing the tiniest one and saying forget it, I'll just put a bigger one. I'm not perfect at this by any means. The really complex, you know, like those colorized things, they make me insane. No fun. I don't find them fun. I'm going to do the trees, and I'm going to do those with the Distress Oxide in, what is that color? Evergreen, no, some sort of forest. Green, dark green. And I'm just doing that with like a little makeup brush. And then I'm going to take my walnut stain and I'm going to do the wood pieces. And then finally, I'm going to go in probably with Catherine Pooler's black. I want to touch up that one tree, not evergreen bough, rustic wilderness. There we go. And I need to color the tires. So I'm going to go in with Catherine Pooler Midnight and that same little makeup brush, the other end of it. And I want to be really careful because the last one I did, I ended up getting black ink on my yellow truck. And I thought that I could, grunge it up and make it okay, but it just looked dirty. So toss that project. I'm going to set all these aside because I want to make my background, and you can watch me chase these pieces around trying to pick them up. And I end up losing 2 or 3 of those, so I have to pause the video, go make another one. Just a mess. I just didn't really think it out when I set it on there, because then I end up digging through stuff and knocking things over. So there's the little white insert pieces, and lay my trees over, and I'm going to pick up the black ones last. I just do not want a chance getting any black on my yellow. Yep, I'm not even going to touch those with my little wax stick. I'm going to set these aside, and they're just on some packaging, which in hindsight had some dyes on the back side of it, and so it magnetized to where I was sitting it. And then I'm going to just put some hand sanitizer on my hands and make sure there's no loose ink, because I tend to just get ink all over me. And I am going to take and cut down this piece of paper to 3 3/4 by 5, because I'm going to be stitching it, and so I want to stitch it to a matte layer. And then just kind of figure out how my truck's going to sit on there so I can decide which direction. And I'm going to go in with the landscape mode. I'm going to go in with Simon Hurley's Breakup Blue. And this is a Colorful Life stencil, Cloud Edger stencil. And I've not used it before. It's another new thing that I have. So I'm going to just lay it on here, and I'm going to go in with my finger brush, and I'm just going to lightly brush. Get it pretty light, the top layer. And then I'm just going to move the cloud edge around and create a second layer. Again, just kind of gently swiping up from the edge and then just lightly blending. I got a little heavy there. It's okay. It still looks good. I'm still okay with it. And I need to do another layer or so. Yeah, let's do just one layer right here. There we go. Because it is a wintry scene, so I like this color for a wintry scene. I would choose probably clear skies for a not wintry scene. And then I'm just going to lightly add a little bit more ink in there, and there I'm done with the sky. And now I want to add my land. And I'm looking for my hill mask. You'd think I'd be more organized knowing that I'm making a video. Yeah. So I'm going to lay it this way so that the hills are facing towards the sky. And I'm going to go in with Simon Hurley's Fake Plant and a finger blending brush. And I'm just going to, start off on the mask and then swipe downwards. So I get some nice depth to my little hills. fight trying to pick up that mask. There we go. So I've got some Death to the Hills. Now I'm just going to take that same ink brush and just blend some in a little bit. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be mostly covered anyway. And I want to stencil in some little trees. So I start thinking I'm going to use that, but I decide to go ahead and use a regular stencil. And I'm going to go in back in with the same fake plant, but I'm going to go in very, very dark. And just fill in the little spaces of that tree. And this is a Tim Holtz stencil, by the way. I don't know the name of it. I want another little tree off to the other side. And I'm thinking I can mask that off, but I can't because I went the other way with it. So I'm not going to mask it off. I'm just going to be careful because I just want that little one poking out over the hill. So I'm just going to go in without adding any extra ink and color that in with the same brush. So now it looks like I've got a tree off in the distance there on the other side of the hill. And again, I'm going to clean my hands because I'll be dealing with that truck soon and I do not want any goo on my hands. Okay, I'm going to get out my pieces here and decide where I'm going to put my truck. It would be cute with a red truck too, or a blue truck, or a purple truck, or whatever truck you like. But I'm going to go ahead and glue down the truck. And I'm not gonna pop it up at all. I will be popping some things up, but not the truck. So I've got my truck laid down. Now I need to kind of ground it before I put the tires on. And so I'm just gonna take that little, with the Rustic Wilderness on it, that little kind of spongy thing. See, this is where I start losing pieces. And I don't even notice what I'm doing. I'm an idiot. And I'm just going to lay my mask, and you know what? I better wipe that black off of there. I'm going to have an accident. Okay, there we go. Just going to lay my little mask, and I'm just going to make a couple of little sort of lines here with the Rustic Wilderness. Nothing heavy, just little dabs. Just so that there's kind of a shadow underneath the tires once I get them on. And so then I'm going to go ahead and place my tires, just add a little glue and glue them down. There we go. I need to do my fenders, but I need to get in these little white pieces, and I end up doing a couple of them off camera because, again, I lost them, but I'm just putting glue in the little space. See me here looking for those pieces that I couldn't find, so I just recut the thing and glued them in off camera, and then I'm going to go ahead and now glue on the fenders. And I'm thinking I need to put the little chrome fender on there first. Ends up that I didn't need to do that, so I end up taking it off. But you know, this is a learning process. I didn't watch any videos or anything. I just looked at the picture and said, okay, here we go. But once I go to lay that fender down, I find out it's just not going to sit right. So start to lay it down and I don't like it. So I pick off the little chrome part and glue it in the right spot. There we go. And then I'm going to glue down the other fender, and that one's going to fit. I don't have to worry about where I glued the bumper. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the white walls on. And you see, I lost my other white wall too. I don't even notice it. But it's okay. I'm just going to look for it for a second and say forget it and cut out another one. Got the other one cut out, and let's glue it down, and then let's go ahead and glue down the chrome hubcaps here. And I could, in hindsight, I could have probably put some glossy accents on top of those at the end, but you'll see I do some other stuff to it. So I'm gonna put the little door handle on. And I'm going to put the little, what I think is a mirror. It doesn't seem to, I don't know. Whatever, it's fine. I'll take it, it's fine. It's a representation of a mirror. And then I have to figure out how I want my tree to lay in my truck. And I decide that I want it to kind of lay flat, so I'm going to trim it down just with a flat edge on it. And then glue it down like that, so as if it's kind of partially in the truck, instead of just kind of sitting on top of the, yeah. So I'm going to glue that down, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue down the wooden pieces that are basically the little, I don't know, what would you call that? The little, it's not a camper. Well, you guys know what I'm talking about. Just a little gate thing that holds stuff in, because this truck hauls around a lot of stuff. And today they've been out in the woods looking for poaching for a Christmas tree. And we'll get these long parts on. I do think this is such an adorable little set. It would also look cute like on a buffalo check. But I wanted to make a scene this time, so I'm making a scene. Okay. And I'm going to be putting these trees down, but first I'm going to stitch this all around. And I want to first, I'm going to glue it. I'm going to trim this to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, or 4 by 5 1/4. It's going to be a matte layer, and I'm going to go ahead and I want to glue that down, but in the center only, because I'm going to be sewing and I don't really want to gummy up my sewing needle. And I just use a regular sewing machine. This is heavy duty thread. It's made for jeans, but you could use any thread really. No special needles or anything. So I've got that stitched down. And now I want to add my extra tree embellishments. So I decide where I want the tree to go there, and I am going to pop that up on some foam. So I'm going to fight a little bit with these foam pieces. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and cut the whole strip in half, and then take the half strips so that I don't have anything sticking out. And just stick those all the way up. And I'm going to tell you, so you know for the future, I absolutely hate working with foam strips. I just hate it. That's why most of the things you see I do are flat. I don't like these at all. I don't like trying to pick off the back. It's a fight. And what I end up doing is grabbing my pokey tool and just stabbing them and pulling off that white paper. Yeah, it's not fun. And then I like to take and add some glue on top of that too, so I have a little bit of room to move it around how much I want it. I'm just going to glue that right there to the corner. Then I got to decide where I want to put my other tree. And yeah, I don't want to completely cover the truck, so I think I'm just going to put it off and down to the side. And I don't exactly want it blocking the roadway either, I guess. So I'm going to fiddle some more with these little foam strips, or these little foam squares. This is why I prefer the strips, because you can pull it off, you know, in one long strip instead of dinking around with these little itty bitty pieces. Add some little bit of glue, and I'll be trimming that off, so I'm not worried about, you know, it sticking over the edge or anything. I'm going to go ahead and find a card base for this. And let's see, do I like it on green? Yeah, it's okay on green, but you know, I'm going to go with my standard craft card base. I just, that's me. I like craft card bases. There's no moral reason for it. I just like the natural color of it. I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. And in hindsight, gluing that down first was probably a mistake, and you'll see why. But I'm going to go ahead and trim off that extra edge there. And I'm going to get a sentiment going on here, and I'm looking for a good sentiment. And I'm thinking a fall sentiment, and then I remember, well, they're actually Christmas tree hunting, so I better find a Christmas one. So I grabbed this one out of my Holtz set, and I really like the handwriting on there. And just making sure this is stuck down. And I want to do that. I think I'm going to do it in black. Yeah, so I'm going to grab my little Simon Hurley acrylic stamping block and kind of line up the holiday season on there with the center line. Decide where I'm going to put it, and then I'm going to cross my fingers, hope to die, that I get this right, because I'm really terrible with hand stamping. So, okay, we're committed now. Just going to push down on that and hold my breath, hold my breath. Ah, ooh, it worked. Yay. And it's straight. Ta-da. I'm not going to emboss it or anything. I'm going to leave it. And then I'm going to go ahead and just add a little bit more green down there by the tires. And then I am going to, Nancy from Nancy Stamp sent me this little Marvy snow pen and said, make sure you do it off to the side. Don't try to put it directly because it blobs. And boy, wasn't she not kidding. Look at that. So I'm taking one of these little, I think they're like little kind of dental tooth things that I think Cheryl sent them to me. And I'm just going to dot this stuff in. I've never used it before, so I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen here. But I'm just going to dot it in to kind of look like snow. And I'm a little worried, frankly, because it seems kind of translucent. But I'm just going to go for it anyway. And you'll see once I figure out how this stuff works, I go for gold here. So let me get my heat tool. I'm going to go ahead and swell that thing up. It does too. It swells up really cool. But I kind of got the idea how to use it. Probably I don't want to do lines. I probably want to stick with, you know, dots. And I've just got my heat tool going here. And since this is pre-recorded, you don't have to hear it. Oh my gosh, this stuff is so cool. I love it. It's so much fun. Thank you, Nancy. Whee! That's it. The whole thing's going to be snowed on. I'm just going to go ahead and do this little tree over here. Give it, I'm kind of going along with the little embossed lines that are in it. Poof, poof, poof. So cool. Get this little tree back here. If the heat tool is already heated up, it works a lot better. And I'm going to get kind of along the bottom here, the bottom of the tires and the bottom of the picture. The ground. How about let's get a little bit of snow on the ground? Not a bunch. It's only the beginning of December, so there's not a lot of snow yet. And if you're in Alabama, there's no snow. It's cloudy and nasty, and that's it. And I'm going to go ahead and put some along the top of the truck, just like if you went somewhere and let your car sit for a little while. If you live in a snowy area, it's going to have little piles on top. And so I'm going to pile some on top. I love this stuff, okay? I'm going to run out before the season's over. I plan to do, I'm not going to do like a 25 days of Christmas or 12 days of Christmas. I'm just going to do a bunch of holiday stuff and not holiday stuff. But kind of just show off some of the stuff that I bought recently. But you can see here what's happened is that heating that really has kind of warped my card. And, you know, I can straighten it back out. I just have to work with it. See, it lifted my glue there, so I need to go ahead and try and glue that back down. And it looks like these little things they smash down, but they come right back up. So cool. I just love this stuff. So neat. So there we have it. Hey, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit that subscribe button. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll get reminded each time that I upload a video. Thank you a bunch. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day.